Hey everybody, welcome in, and it's time for Miss Potts. A little bit of a kit review. Now, this is one of the few of the new characters I haven't really looked into much myself yet. I've seen a couple of screenshots before this, but I haven't really gone in depth thinking and looking over her kit. So it's going to be me sharing that with you all and giving you my first impressions of what she's going to be like. So let's jump into this, starting with her basic. Actually, let's start with what kind of hero she is. So I was assuming she was a support, and absolutely she is. So let us go and let us see. There we go. So for her basic, she does so get this, from her basic, she does the same amount of damage basic listed as beast. But yet Beast one, he gets to attack twice and then double up again. But that's just a comparison for you for the Beast show, looking at the kit that we looked through. So deal some damage plus 30% of this character's recovery as bonus damage. So she's actually going to be doing a little bit of damage, especially the higher you get her, the higher recovery she has, and just definitely a candidate for a recovery stone with her next ability that we'll be looking into. But at level 2, she'll get continuous damage to go along with it, and then um, it's going to hit for 2 turns if the target is above 60% health. So it's going to be a way to get down higher health characters to get them lower, so you can finish them off with your other characters. So that is interesting, and at max levels you're going to get an extra 20%, so 50% of this character's recovery. So that is going to actually end up impacting quite a lot. So that's actually, that's a cool way to make support recovery stats matter, and more of a reason to actually give a recovery stone to someone. That this is potentially one of the best characters, even just with this soul ability, that can have more impact to actually giving a different type of stone, like a recovery stone. So that is really cool to see. Now, this is the special that I have seen. A 1 turn cooldown heal. Heal 72 health to a teammate, level it up, and then it's go, if the target's health is above the 60%, then you're going to give them continuous healing for 2 turns. So that's pretty much saying that, well, if you're going to be healing someone at the start of a battle, they haven't taken much damage yet, when you're going to give them continuous healing, so that by the time their turn comes around, if they have taken damage, boom, they can heal then. So I really like that. That is a really responsible, really thoughtful way of healing, and I like that. I like that. So it's not going to matter, like when they get down below 60%, it's just going to be the instant healing only. But at higher health, it's going to give them more of a long-term healing as well to keep them high health. So I really like that. And then at level 4, grant unstoppable for 1 turn or 2 turns if the target has continuous healing. So there could be potential for doing things like uh, continual healing builds and things like that in the future. And that, if you psych any other characters, say like Anna, who can give continuous healing if you're using her leadership, that could be a way, boom, get that healing, get more healing, and then give them undefeatable, unstoppable. That potentially could have more potential in the future. At the moment, it's just kind of like well, it's a little bonus when you get it, but that's pretty cool. And at high levels, I think she's going to be a whole lot better at high levels. So that's going to be interesting to see. So let's jump into her next special. Dealing 53 damage, so that's an okay-ish damage for support, but it is to all flanking, so that's more on track. At least it's not single target; it's flanking damage, so that's good. And then inflict offense down, so nice. We know how good offense down can be. You can end up crippling people with that. And then on level up, this character gains 15% speed meter for each opponent hit. So that means when you're hitting, if there's all 3 in the line, you're going to be getting yourself 45% speed meter. So she's going to be nearly halfway to taking another turn. If on the other hand, if you go up against an opponent who is summoning a whole lot of things, you can potentially get up to 5. So that's going to be 75%. Is it 5 or 4? 5. So that's 75%. So she can nearly take an extra turn nearly straight away. Nearly. If your opponent is summoning a whole bunch, like using shadows, using Maurice, which we'll be looking into in the next video. That is very interesting, and I like that. I like the different things getting built into kits now. That is not everything just the same, not all just for they all got their very unique part to their characters and to the different types of builds that you'll be able to do with it. Now, I think at the moment, Miss Potts seems to be more, and her kit seems to be more, potentially have more relevance in the future, and you may grow into her more if we see a lot more summons, which I think there are going to be some builds to come, so stay tuned for those with Maurice, and with his video, we'll talk more about that. But I think there's going to be a lot of potential, and even for Mrs. Potts. And I'm excited to try some different things out. So we'll have to just stay tuned for that. Now, with her passive, at the start of the battle, grants 10% of this character's recovery to bonus recovery to teammates. So this is just kind of like the other ones that we've seen so far. The defense, the crit chance, now recovery. And then on this character or adjacent getting sleep, there's 30% chance to cleanse it. So that's really nice. And then when you level it up, you're going to get extra 30% chance for Kingdom teammates. So a little bit extra for Kingdom. But then you're also going to be getting an extra 10% chance when you get it leveled right up, and then guaranteed for Beauty and Beast. So I like how this is one of my complaints in the very early stages after Global with some of the new characters that were coming out. They were limiting some of these kits to only frozen characters. This only gets, when you level it up, it only gets bonus to frozen. Whereas my advice or my thoughts were, it'll be so much better if they say you do this for anybody, like a little bit, just like we've got here, 10% chance for anybody, and then an extra bonus for your specific team. So you can have, so that just means that when you're leveling this character up, it's not going to be useless outside of that team. It's going to be, you're going to be able to find uses for it, and there's going to be still uses for leveling some of these abilities up. So I really like that. I really do like that. And there's going to be, yet again, these characters seem like they're going to be future builds for, maybe you can set her up by adjacent to Dr. Facilia. She is going to give him more recovery. He's going to help heal more. She's going to heal. This has a lot of potential. Having Dr. Facilia get more healing for you all, her keeping everybody above 60%, her being able to give continual healing, and then being able to give unstoppable. There's going to be some interesting builds here. These are just like my first, like, off the top of my head, just like, oh, I want to try some of these. So stay tuned, and if anyone else does try it, let me know. Links in the Discord. Love to hear from you guys. Anyone who has them all unlocked and leveled right up, because some of these builds, I think, will be super fun. Minimum, they're going to be a whole lot of fun. So there's a lot going on for Mrs. Potts, and I do like what she's got going on. I do like that she is very unique. Um, I must say that the Beauty and the Beast characters, as a like all these other singular ones, they don't seem to be as standalone good OP as Big Hero 6 was. But I think separately they all do have. Oh, actually, no. They've got a different type. They're a lot more supporty in their application into other teams and other builds potentially, which I kind of like. I really like that, rather than having just OP characters like Honey Lemon, and Hero and the likes. But and Fred now he's a beast. Whereas these characters, like, I'm not saying that I don't want useless characters, or I don't want characters that aren't amazing. I want characters to be amazing, but I want them all to be balanced, and I want them to encourage team building and positioning and things like that. And that's why I love Scrooge so much. So I'm hyped to get into Mrs. Potts more. So stay tuned for more of these showcases, more strategies and deck ideas, and for me going forward investing into these characters and seeing what I can do with them. So if you're not already, consider subbing if you like this kind of content, or if you want to see more of this kind of content and what I can create with some of these. I'd love to have you around. Let me know in the comments below any thoughts you guys have, and always feel free to check out my Discord, my Twitch, all in the comments below. We'll be streaming, we'll be testing some things out, we'll be passing on ideas, answering questions, whatever it is, we'll be doing it. So I'd like to see you all there. See you on the next one at least.